Hey guys, it's Foxy. I am doing my my life weekly forecast from my bed. Basically, I'm sitting in the sunshine. My whole face looks white because the sun is so bright today, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And the dogs are enjoying it, and I just was like, I'm gonna pretend I'm Hugh Hefner and I'm working in bed today. Because we're all just sitting in the sun. It's so beautiful today. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this week, December 16th through the 22nd. Every week I say, this is really intense, but this week is really intense. So basically what's happening as we're getting ready to move into 2019 is we are really just being asked to clean up our act and really determine what we're doing going forward. It's just absolutely, I want to say, instead of baptism by fire, it's baptism by deep water. And now we're going into fire. So now that we're soaking wet, we're going to be like, everything's going to burn off as the sun continues to move through Sagittarius. So let's talk about what's going on this today. And a lot of these aspects are going to be holding throughout the week. And so again, it's like a refining, a honing of all of this energy. It's really intense. So the sun is in Sagittarius today. It's squaring Chiron in Pisces. Chiron is now direct. Chiron is trining the North Node in Cancer. The North Node is our collective future destiny, our Dharma. And that again is in the fourth house of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. Lots of emotion. Uranus in Aries is still squaring the North Node too. And Uranus is all about revolution and freedom and quantum leaps and about the youth. Uranus rules Aquarius. And the moon is in Aries right now, and it's squaring Saturn in Capricorn while trining Jupiter in Sagittarius. I mean, it's just like ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Lots of stuff. And the Venus is in Scorpio still. It's sextiling Saturn in Capricorn, in the beginning of Capricorn. And Mars is in Pisces, and it is sextiling Pluto in Capricorn. So Venus sextiling Saturn and Mars in Pisces sextiling Pluto in Capricorn. That's going to go on for most of the week this week. And that's really, that's harmonious energy. So we're going to talk about all of that. But the sun is moving through Sagittarius. Sagittarius also has Jupiter in it right now, which is in a sign for 12 months. So it's going to be in there until December 3rd of 2019. And Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius. It rules Sagittarius. It's all about knowledge, wisdom, truth, acquiring knowledge. The ninth house is about international travel, connection with international people. It's about higher spiritual knowledge, gaining that knowledge, sharing that knowledge, teaching that knowledge. A lot of people who have their midheavens in the ninth house oftentimes are teachers. They may teach in a school system, or they may teach in other ways. They may mentor people. But all of this stuff is happening this week with Chiron trining the North Node, which is our collective future destiny in Cancer. And it just moved into Cancer. This is really about your home and your family origins. And so those things may be changing, or you may be taking more interest in those things. This is really about healing your past. And that could be your childhood. That could be your past. So from a past life. And there are oftentimes are things that we bring in karmically with us in this life to work out. Maybe we ran out of time, or we were working on something else in our last incarnation. So the moon is transiting through Aries, and this is like harmoniously trining the Jupiter in Sagittarius. So that is a potential for real emotional and mystical breakthroughs, okay? And it can lead to an epiphany and ultimately self-acceptance. A lot of the stuff that we're going through right now is in preparation for true self-acceptance. A lot of us are ascending, are spiritually awakening. A lot of star seeds are starting to figure out their origins and figure out what their mission is here on the planet. It's a really interesting time to be alive. And again, we are at the threshold of the age of Aquarius, and you know, things are changing. The feminine divine, we are moving from the patriarchy to the feminine divine. And that is a huge energetic shift for a lot of us. So we're all feeling it. We're all tired. We're all exhausted. We're all emotionally worn out because all of that stuff has to come out. It has to be processed so we can move forward. It's really, it's a lot. It's a lot. So on Monday, there's going to be a trine between the sun, which is now at 25 degrees of Sagittarius, and Uranus in Aries at 28 degrees. And it's going to get stronger this week. It's going to exactly trine this week as well. And Uranus is squaring that north node. So this is all about our future. Again, everything that's happening right now is preparing us for the future. It's revolutionary energy. It's a desire for freedom. So you want to look and see where Uranus is in your chart in Aries and see what house that's in. That will tell you where you are searching for freedom. You are searching for freedom. Where the sun is traveling through Sagittarius. Look and see where Sagittarius and Jupiter are in your chart. Those are areas that are going to be intensified, magnified, right? One of the challenges with this revolutionary energy is that it can pose a challenge to issues with commitment and loyalty, because Uranus is always about moving forward. And so one of the challenges that we face this week is there could be a lot of desire to move forward without ending things. And so a lot of the stuff we've been going through is letting go. Some people don't like to let go. Some people just like to keep moving and not let go of the stuff they need to let go of. And that is really what we're being asked to do. We're being asked to let go of those things. Finish those contracts with people. Do it in a clean and respectful way. Give gratitude, even if the lesson was a tough one. Give gratitude for that lesson and move on from that person. It can be a little difficult. Folks this week may surprise you. Things that you would not expect someone to do may happen. People may disappear. People may leave their family. They may leave their spouse, just up and leave them. And you'll be like, that, I couldn't believe it happened. There's going to be that kind of energy this week because that revolutionary energy is all about moving forward. On Tuesday, all of these aspects are continuing to hold. We've got the sun in Sagittarius trining Uranus. We've got Chiron in Pisces. We've got Uranus squaring the North Node. In Cancer, Chiron is trining the North Node. This is all about healing the wound. So whatever that wound is, look and see where Chiron is in your chart. That will tell you where that wound is. And any of the aspects that are going to Chiron, see what's going on with those. Those things are going to be fueling your attention to this Chiron wound so you can do it. This is a week of breakthroughs. This is a week of downloads. This is a week where people will make major changes out of the blue. So it's going to be interesting. The other thing I wanted to mention is now that the North Node is traveling through Cancer, Cancer is all about gut instincts. It's ruled by the moon. And, if you look into the second brain or the enteric brain, which is our gut, that is about your instincts. And so you might want to pay attention to that. If you are having gut issues this week, if you're throwing up, if you have indigestion, if you're having a lot of challenges in that area, you might want to start reevaluating maybe how you are paying attention, or if you are paying attention to your gut instincts. Also, you might want to start paying attention to your actual your diet and your stress levels. When the gut is unhappy, it's telling you something. It's trying to get your attention. And you can look up the gut brain and do some more research in regards to it. Very, very powerful. One of the most powerful. There's 3 brains in our body, and the gut brain is the second brain, but it's really one of the most powerful brains. It keeps you alive, actually. You may need to make some major changes in your life. You may need, and these will probably be around that Cancerian energy in the 4th house. Now, Cancer may not be in your 4th house in your chart, but Cancer, the collective Cancer, is in the 4th house for all of us because Cancer rules the 4th house. So this again is home, and you may need to change homes. You may need to move out. You may need to redecorate. You may need to just cleanse or bless your space. You may just need to go through the house and sage everything. You may just need to have a really super deep cleaning. of your house. Just get rid of some of the negative energy. If you're not familiar with smudging, you can smudge with a candle. You can smudge with sage, Palo Santo. You can smudge with incense, however you feel comfortable. But it's really about just cleaning the energy in the house. I like to smudge with sage and sweetgrass. Those are the two things that really I feel for me are healing. But certain people prefer other things. And if you don't have anything to smudge with, if you have a candle, you can light the candle and then blow the candle out and use the smoke from the candle to smudge your house if you need to. Another great thing is to smudge your doorways where people come in and go out, and where the energy comes in and goes out of your house. That's also a great thing to do. On Wednesday, the moon is going to be in Taurus. It's going to be trining Pluto, which is in Capricorn, both earth signs. And Mercury is conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius. Venus is in Scorpio, and it is trining Neptune in Pisces. So we've got the moon and Pluto in earth. We've got Mercury and Jupiter in fire. We've got Venus and Neptune in water. So like all of those elements are activated big time. Remember, Capricorn, there's a lot going on in Capricorn because Saturn, which rules Capricorn, is in there. It's going to be in there for several years. Pluto as well is in there for several years. Capricorn's about structure, dependability, process, and the moon is trining Pluto in Capricorn, and that is about emotional security. And I think if you look at the national scale or the national level, what's going on here as well as in other countries, I shouldn't just say national, globally, there's a lot of stuff going down in France right now, England with Brexit. We've got our own issues here in the United States, and it's really about security, emotional security, financial security, securing our borders, all this stuff that is supposedly things that we need to do to be secure. But really, security or contentment, that is determined by the individual, not by your government. So you got to look deep. You've got to see what's driving this need for security and what things frighten you and why do they scare you. This can turn obsessive and controlling and cause dictatorial behavior, not just in our leaders, not just in the different countries, but also in ourselves. So look and see where you're having some obsession. Maybe you're, unwilling to bend on things. Why is that? And normally when you're not willing to do something different or be flexible, it has to do with security and fear. So look and see what's going on for you in that area. That might be something you need to work on. And it may be something you need to work on now and into this new year of 2019. As we move on to Thursday, the sun is at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. It's exactly trining Uranus. So this is the exact trine between the sun, or our ego, and Uranus, revolution. So this is also, again, Uranus has been tightly squaring the North Node for quite a while. So we've been going through this honing of our collective future destiny, because Uranus is all about quantum leaps. And the sun is also tightly squaring Chiron and Pisces still. So this is our collective wound. So this is all about that quest for freedom is going to reach a crescendo on Thursday. And we may see this in the world. There may be protests. There may be earthquakes. There may be, an eruption of some volcano or something. It's kind of like it's like a pressure keg building this week, and it's going to reach its peak on Thursday. So, if you haven't begun something new in your life, today may be the day to take the first step. And if you have started taking new steps to do new things in your life, to change things in your life, particularly around wherever your Cancer is in your chart and what house that's in, today may be the day to take that step, and it doesn't have to be like earth-shattering step, right? It could be baby steps. Oftentimes we get, a whisper in the ear and then a tap on the shoulder, and then we get a kick in the butt, and then we get a punch in the face. And so it's like, if you start to take your baby steps, you can avoid some of those confrontations, with spirit. And you may need to release some more stuff. You may need to surrender emotionally to something. That's what this Chiron and Pisces, Trident of the North Node is all about. And just you need to let go of some things to move forward. And I think a lot of times people have a negative connotation around surrendering. But it's kind of like forgiveness. You really forgive is a gift to yourself, because that means you're no longer going to attach your energy to something that is painful to you, right? That's what forgiveness is truly. It's not really for the person you forgive. Same thing with surrender. When you surrender, you release something that allows you to have freedom. It's really a blessing, a blessing for yourself. So think about those areas where you need to release or surrender things, and know that emotional security, if you have to have dictatorial behavior around things that frighten you, that's an area to look at for surrender, right? So Friday, we have the winter solstice. I can't believe it. It's the 21st of December. It's unbelievable. So this is the last seasonal change for 2018. And today, on Friday, the moon is in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces. So the sun is going to enter Capricorn at 5:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have any kind of practice around the solstices, this is a good time to make a note of. Today is the shortest day, right? It's the shortest day and the longest night of the year. And this is an opportunity to pause and give gratitude for, the powerful renewal of nature. This is, the death of 1 year and the birth of the new one coming. So with the moon in Gemini, this is a really powerful day for psychic activity. It can also be a day where you're kind of not really in your body. So you definitely want to ground yourself. Good day to meditate, good day to do some yoga, really dig your feet into your mat, ground down, breathe down through your feet, go into that root chakra. But, the moon is about the emotional side of life, and we are almost all water, and the moon rules the tides. So and we're getting ready in January for some eclipses and a super moon, and that means that the moon is closer to the earth, bigger impact on us, right? And the earth itself. So when the moon is connected to Gemini, which is an air sign and is about knowledge, it's really an opportunity to connect into the collective. So you can get some incredible downloads this week from that. It's also about gaining some self-control and making those fantasies, the things that you're downloading, the things that you're visioning for yourself, really making those substantial, turning those into something that you can move forward with. And this is also about Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn and Capricorn is all about manifestation for long term. And that's why we're going through all these changes right now, because we are manifesting something for the new Aquarian age for ourselves and for the collective. That's a big change. It's very different than the patriarchy of the Piscean age that we're leaving. And then on Saturday, it's going to be the second of 5 0-degree full moons. We have 5 full moons in a row, started in November. We'll go until March. 5 full moons in a row at 0 degrees. That is very unusual. Very, very, very unusual. This is very important because this time is a time of tremendous new beginnings. So the full moon that we had last month at 0 degrees of Sagittarius, we will have one in Capricorn at 0 degrees, and then we'll have one in Aquarius, and so on and so on. And then we'll have one in Libra in March at 0 degrees. And then we'll have one again in Libra in April at 29 degrees. 0 degrees is the beginning of something. 29 degrees is the mastery of something. So something big is coming for all of us in April. We're going to master something. But if you look and see where these 0 degrees fall in your chart, and you can see the areas of life, these are 5 different areas of your life where you're having new beginnings. That's a lot. That's a lot. So really full moons are closing things out so that you can begin something new. So really take a look at that, because that's some interesting energy. And we also have 7 new moons in a row at 15 degrees. And the first one was in October, and that will go on until April. And those are all really new beginnings. It's just a really amazing time to be on the planet. There's some really incredible things happening in the universe right now. And, I don't know, it's just something to be aware of. Really take a look in your chart. And, again, I had mentioned that it's really important because Saturn rules Capricorn. This is a full moon in Capricorn. So you're really going to be closing down something and then starting something new. Pluto's in there. Pluto is a great transformer. So we're creating something for the new, but we're also transforming something from the old as we move into the new Aquarian age. This will be long lasting and bring great change. We're already, as we move into the new year, Uranus is going to move into Taurus for 7 years. That hasn't happened since 1934. And I've mentioned this several times, but there were tremendous quantum leaps in between 1934 and 1941 in warfare, in science, in pharmacological stuff, drugs. The earth changed dramatically. We had new countries. There's just a tremendous amount of stuff that happened when Uranus was last in Taurus, and now it's going to be in Taurus again until 2026, and that's going to happen in March, the beginning of March. So there's just a lot going on. I'm going to be publishing a video on the impact dates of 2019. And that will be available for purchase for $11. Those dates will take you from January all the way until the 31st of December. And you can write those down and have access to that and kind of understand how those dates are going to impact you in the future. I also, right now, am running a 30% discount between now and December 31st. If you want to book a natal reading with me, you can do so for $68. I will make a recording and also send you a copy of your chart. Now, when I do a reading for people, I don't just do a natal reading. I do a natal, progressed, and current transits chart. So you can see where you came from, where you're at now, and what's happening to you. As we evolve, our planets move on our chart, and we all change. That's just how it happens. So as you may be born an Aries, you probably will you'll probably die a Gemini. And that's a lot of change. Those are very different personalities. Most people evolve at least 3 signs during their lifetime. So anyway, if you're interested in finding out more about that, you can message me on Facebook, or you can leave a message on my Facebook page, Feeling Foxy After 40. But anyway, it's going to be an intense week. Every week this year has been intense. It's not changing. We are leveling up. We're being asked to level up. We're being asked, more is being asked of us spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally than probably ever before. This is a time for mastery, and it's not a joke. This time is not a joke. And it's important to know that we have chosen to be here at this time. If you need help navigating that, that's what your astrological chart is for. When you were born with a plan, and that plan is available to you if you're interested in it. And it can really help you as you're moving forward. So I hope everybody has a fantastic week and has a wonderful solstice. I have to admit, this is really one of my favorite times of the year. And next week's a big week for the Foxes. Our new puppy is turning 1, and I'm turning 49. And we've got Christmas coming. It's just, there's a lot going on. It's going to be, I think, a dead heat to the end of the year this year. But anyway, have a wonderful day, you guys. And if you need anything, if you're interested in astrological reading, or you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact with me. I'm here to help. Take care and have a great week.